stuff that's like 100 years old could be just filthy dirty. And you can clean these cards so much. Like, this is where I'll get the most like thing, right? Like, where I'll soak a card and get all the wrinkles and dirt to come out of it, and then teach people how to dry them. And at first it blows people away, which goes back to one of your earlier questions. This stuff freaks people out because they never seen somebody soak a 1952 Mickey Mantle until they met me, you know?
I kind of got a little bit of a twitch you saying the word soak.
Oh, dude.
Welcome to the Collector Nation podcast here on the Collector Nation Network. Whether you're chasing grails or calling bluffs, we take you inside the hobby. Here's your host, Ryan Alford.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Collector Nation here on the Collector Nation Network. You know, there's no doubt that everyone knows at this point my affinity for the hobby and getting back into it. And part of what I was talking about with my guest today before the episode got started was, hey, I get to like look at like a product or a card or something one day, and then the next day I'm talking to them. This is one of my favorite products in the hobby. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. And that's unpaid, unscripted. That just is the truth. And it is Curts Card Care, and it smells really good. It's Kurt Colone. These are treasures. We got to take care of this stuff, man. Like, why don't you want it to look better? When I got back into the hobby, I started looking around for a few different things because I really put it on the shelf. Like, okay, got into, I was a basketball player year round in high school and in middle school, and put the cards up. And they didn't come back out till my kids got into it. So I was like 25 years on the shelf. And when I came back into it, I was looking for a few things. I was like, number one, okay, there's got to be apps now. It's got to be apps, right? We got to have technology to manage our collections, all that. That's right. Okay. All right. We got new looking cards. We got that. All right. It's got to be a better way to keep up with them, to clean them, or to like, there's got to be something. And it was like, it took me a year to find you, because I didn't really have time. I was doing it passively. And then finally, like, I tripped over it, and I was like, oh, yeah, this is what makes sense. We've got to take care of these cards. Like, sometimes you got just small. It's not even a blemish. It's just like a smudge, like your grimy fingerprints. How can we do this and not hurt the card? And here you are.
I hear you, man. That's see, I feel like I have that same thought ever since I was a kid. You know, I'm like, They are our little pieces of treasure, right? So like, since that was as much as little treasure as I got, I just knew that I always had to take good care of them. And I always looked for, Ryan, to be a customer of a company like mine, because I figured it exists. Yeah. You know, I figured there's got to be a way to get common things off of our little collectibles, our little treasures. And I just never found anything that was like satisfactory. And then like being like a person that's always, I come from a family that embraced art, that embraced a lot of hands-on stuff and being creative and stuff like that. And if we didn't have a tool for something, we'd figure it out, you know. And that's really, you know, just I couldn't find a Curts Card Care that had all the issues that I wanted to work on. So man, I just started piecing it together years and years ago. And you know, I took a chance probably about 5.5 years ago, and I'm like, I'll make an Instagram page, see what people have to say about it. And the market, you know, really spoke for itself. And it turns out that everybody's waiting for something that was, you know, practical and easy and reliable to like kind of add a whole new layer of, you know, like collecting.
Did Kurt have a laboratory at his house? Like, what was the process for developing this product?
Yeah, dude, that's pretty much right. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Even at trying to like meet other adults through like kids sports, they'll ask me what I do. And I'm like, well, I make some great products to teach people how to take care of their Pokemon cards and baseball cards. It's like, it's kind of hard to even explain, right? But where it all started, really, Ryan, was just me being a particular person and a collector my whole life. And I've always, I give a lot of credit to my mother. My mom's an amazing artist, but my dad was a crazy mechanic, and he was very good with science. And my mom was super artistic. So like just in the household I grew up in, it was like, you fix up with art or science. In really, sure enough, dude, the things I've loved since I was a little kid, like playing guitars, listening to music, collecting cards, are really things that I just really kind of stayed with professionally through my whole life. But like when it came to the card care stuff, my family owned a dealership. Okay. So like when you work in a body shop growing up,
Oh, I
and
know where this is going. Yes.
I'm around really creative, awesome people. My father was a fabricator, great painter, like people that could do amazing stuff. Like Detroit mechanics is where I'm from. Okay. So like guys that were real good with their hands. And then like, so when it came to working in the body shop, and we did not card shows, but car shows like every weekend. We'd compete and also we would race. So like I had a really fun kind of weekends growing up. So one of my jobs was to detail everything, keep everything super tight and super clean. So that didn't really, the apple didn't fall far from the tree. And so then, I always like how stuff is made and like the essence of how stuff's all put together. Like I was watching people, there were some people that cleaned cards or tried to improve them. I wasn't like the only person that ever thought of this, but it was usually with like other
Windex.
Yeah, stuff that wasn't scientific, the wrong blend.
Ajax.
Like, yeah, because like there's salsa that's like mild, and then there's salsa that will like put you in the hospital. That's kind of like the same thing, like metaphorically speaking, as like chemicals. You know what I mean? So like there is some really easy, responsible, great ways to take care of paper and plastic, but it's usually not achieved through stuff that's under your sink or on the shelf in your garage. So that's where I really stepped up and was like, I'm going to make stuff because it doesn't exist. And I'm a stubborn mule, Ryan. Like I will do something I will fail 1,000 times in a row just to get it right, dude. And that can be a strength and an annoyance for those around me. But when it comes to the building and testing and everything, yes, that's how I started. Now I don't have to like have a kitchen laboratory anymore. Right out back, we have a beautiful state-of-the-art laboratory and facility where now I have my own professional lab, and this is where we develop and manufacture all of our products.
I'll say this, once I finally got the product and was using it about 4 months ago, I went down the rabbit hole and watched all the videos. Maybe not everyone, but like all the ones that mattered for what I was trying to do. Do you think the average person would be surprised or disappointed with how, far gone a card could kind of be versus what a little bit of just restoration and cleanup can bring back? It seemed to me like it was pretty magic.
Thanks, man. I think that it's pretty, and you're a great person to speak on that, Ryan, because you and I didn't even know each other until today. That's
what I mean. Like, yeah, this is as unscripted and as performed. I'm just a fan.
Right. Thank you, man. Because it's like, it's like my sister-in-law owns a great bakery, and naturally, when she brings me cookies, they're freaking amazing because she made them. But you don't even know about my cookies. You just got them, use them. So I think that most collectors would be surprised because one of my initial nudges to get into this, Ryan, and chase it down was I'm 44 now. I was probably 24. I put all my 1986 Fleer stickers and basketball cards together. I feel like I'm an artistic person, man. I feel like I got a good eye. I know what a corner dent. I knew in my mind, dude. I sent all these cards in to get graded at Beckett. I got like 5s and 6s on all these. I was like crushed. I felt like we're talking about card grading. Like, come on, get real. But I was so disappointed in myself. I was like, dude, what is this? Am I mad at them or am I mad at myself? What is going on here? That's when I started really going to card shows on the weekend and going up and talking to guys that had 9s and 10s. I'm like, do you do anything to this? How do you do this? What is this? And I started collecting data.
Yeah.
So then anyways, since I was so surprised about how low a card can like score or how condition sensitive they were, I had a lot to learn. So then back to your question, if somebody gets some card care stuff and they have cards that are 20 years old, even if they're kept in their binders, you got 20 years worth of spring, fall, summer, winter, all kinds of different atmospheres and stuff going on. You guys would be surprised. Like, I bet, Ryan, when you did you do sports cards or Pokemon cards? Like, what were the ones that you did
Sports cards. I had, unfortunately, prime junk wax era, 87 to 92.
Good stuff that has patina on it to clean up by now, right?
Yes.
So regardless of the player, I bet you even found it was fun to play with these things after a while because it was like, ooh, I can get this wax stain off, or I can get this corner straight, or whatever.
I did that with a lot of 87 tops, like base card, like crappy. They're all base cards, I guess. But like that's the problem with some of them. They didn't have no rarity because they were all printed, 800 million times the same card. But yeah, I would play around with that, like. I don't know what that substance is, like you said, that just gets on there and it comes off though.
It is. I think that, Ryan, it was a lot of the plastic stuff that they were kept in.
Yeah.
Plastic will degrade as the years go by, and you'll get like a kind of like a surface degradation on those types of things. So it's, hey, I might be easily amused, but I always loved my card collection, and I always thought it was fun to just like make them look good again. You know what I mean? It's like who doesn't clean up something like your space, your office, whatever, and it looks great and you feel good. I tell you, it's as silly as it sounds. Cleaning up your old collection is like a super cool feeling, and it's a good skill to have if you're an active collector. You can buy something totally different.
So, just so we put this to the bed, like, what is the debate though? Like, I get that if you're getting like the paint out or getting like you're truly changing the card.
There's boundaries,
like,
right?
Like, yeah, there's boundaries here. Like, I'm getting my, I've got a professional like waxing, like, like putting a whole new coat of something on it, or I don't know if that would be good, bad, or different. I'm making things up because I don't know how to do these things. But paint or something, I'm retouching it. But what is the heartburn over just purely cleaning up the cards and like restoring them without altering them? Why is there heartburn about that?
I think, Ryan, because like a lot of times people don't like something until it's popular, and I think that at first, and then sometimes you can think that like a few squeaky wheels speak for everybody. Sometimes we can grab a few bits of data and we think we painted a whole picture out of the trillions of bits of data out there, because even like you as a person that's in touch with media and plugged in, you didn't find about me until a few months ago. You know what I mean?
And the last thing I thought was, wow, this is potentially a bad product doing bad things. No, the first thing I thought was this makes a ton of sense and is amazing.
Right. And thanks for that. And that's yours, but somebody could totally, it's always rooted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know. It's like, again, I get the retouching thing, but
and that's what I'll say, right? Because like, here's what I would say to anybody. I'm assuming anybody watching this, I'm just going to assume that they've never seen anything like this before, or they might not know enough. So like, the thing is, me personally, I never got into this for a business. It turned into one, but I got into this because I loved cards my whole life. I grew up in a very blue collar family in Detroit. Cards were kind of like my treasure. They seemed way more important to me than anything else. You know what I mean? So like I started with a love of these things. And then 20 years ago, when I'm cleaning off the surface of cards and figuring out ways to get wrinkles and dents out of them, never once did I think about like, oh, I'm going to like, teach this to the whole world or whatever like that. I just enjoyed it. So I got good at it. And then I send in these cards to get graded. And I realized, hey, if you know how to clean off stuff off the front or clean off stuff off the back or figure out, shape them up, you can get a higher score. And personally, as a competitive person, I like that. You know what I mean? Sure, the money's part of the picture, but I'm me personally, if anybody wants to know, I don't even sell anything. I'm a pack rat collector. I am a collector. So the narrative of somebody trying to say like I just do this for a bunch of money, no, that don't work because I don't even sell my cards. They're all I'm a hoarder.
Let's start at modern cards. What is improvable? Fix is the wrong word. Improvable.
So most modern cards, and I'll preface that saying, even though 90s were a while ago, modern cards pretty much started in the 90s. So if you guys collect, like Topps Chrome and Panini Prism, we'll just stay right there. Chrome and Prism. Those cards, as years go by, the plastic, like Ryan can tell you, on the front of them, they get cloudy, they get dingy. Even if you kept them in a nice place, it just happens, you guys. So like that's one of the most satisfying things. If you guys ever watch my before and afters and you see one that's just like, looks like it's this cloudy, and then you see one right there, Ryan will even tell you it only takes 10 seconds. It's not even long. It's not a process. It's just seriously wiping it down. But then you'd say like, well, why can't you just use a towel? It just doesn't work that way. You got to be able to cut through that crap. So like cleaning up older cards, stuff that's new. Ryan, I make this right here. It's called Recovery. It's a little light scratch remover, and it's great because a lot of the Chrome cards and Prism cards have a thick plastic cover, but they're scratch magnets, man. They get real scratched up. So like if you get good with recovery, you can do a little light surface buff and eliminate little surface scratches. And then really finally, like the things that you can do on the back of these modern cards is if you ever see dents and stuff on the back, I can even show people how to get dents out.
So the modern cards, we can get maybe some dents out that might be on the back. We can get surface level, small micro scratches potentially.
Yep.
what else with those modern cards? Is that about it?
You know, the good thing about modern cards is, Ryan, they're rigid and they're strong. So you don't have but the blemishes are a lot of times permanent, because on the opposite, I like to educate people like what you're going to deal with if it's permanent. Those dimples on the front of those cards.
Don't talk to me about dimples.
Throw them out, throw it out. You know, those. It's just. I imagine when they make those cards, there's a heat press involved. There's a manufacturing process, and it's just there's going to be little dimples on a thin, small piece of plastic at sometimes. You know, so those are unmovable. The word print line, that's a collector word that we'll use a lot.
Yeah.
Either print lines will be either dug into the card so deep it's like a river and it ain't going nowhere. Sometimes they're a streak of grease and you can wipe them off and you're like magic. And other times it's a little light scuff and you can use like recovery to buff it out a little bit. Those are going to vary, you know.
Vintage. What can be expected? What are the types of things that Curts Card Care helps with?
My favorite, we could talk about paper vintage cards all day, like that, but we'll keep it short. You guys, even if you don't collect vintage paper cards right now, it's a good time to get involved, because know your history, man. You know, you can learn so much from vintage athletes, vintage stories. You know, I'm a huge heart. My heart is history. I love history. You know, from my family tree to all the baseball cards. So like with baseball cards, let's say vintage cards are from when they started until 1988. That would be vintage paper. And these are amazing, you guys, because they've been through so many eras. So like stuff that's like 100 years old could be just filthy dirty. And you can clean these cards so much. Like this is where I'll get the most thing, right? Like where I'll soak a card and get all the wrinkles and dirt to come out of it and then teach people how to dry them. And at first it blows people away, which goes back to one of your earlier questions, is like, this stuff freaks people out because they never seen somebody soak a 1952 Mickey Mantle until they met me.
I kind of got a little bit of a twitch you saying the word soak.
Oh, dude, you got to watch.
I haven't watched that video yet.
If you look at you guys, even this is where I'll have watchers, Ryan, that don't even collect because of my vintage stuff. I'll have people that say, hey, when are you going to do one like this coming up? I'll be like, you working on one? They're like, oh, we don't even collect cards. We just like to watch the old ones you do. You know?
I love that.
So I do too. And you know what the vintage ones do? Do you know how many older couples that, like, for just an example, you never know who your customers are until they say hello to you, really. You know, I assume they're guys. I assume they're probably 30 to 50. But that's a bunch of them. But there's a lot of really cool people that don't fit that demographic. I have couples that are in their 70s and 80s that stopped building puzzles because now they go and get their old vintage cards and they work on cards together as a husband and a wife. Like super sweet, touching stuff. You know what I mean?
That is awesome.
So and that's where the vintage cards brings them in, because they grew up watching these dudes. You know what I mean?
Now, does that soaking process, does that improve grading, or is it a personal view?
Huge improvement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can't use friction on an old piece of paper. So you got to do what's best for the card, card care, right? So the only way that you're going to be able to, and like the fluids I use, everything I build is archival grade gold standard. And that's why I couldn't find this type of stuff. I know what it takes to build this stuff, but it just doesn't exist for the types of products we work on, Paint and ink on cards from the 40s and 50s is unique compared to stuff from the 70s and 80s. And if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to find out.
Yeah. I love it, man. What's like the one bit of advice for people, or a couple bits, that are getting into sort of restoring both old or new, maybe some universal truths?
Yeah, I mean, I would think that for me, like if anybody's watching this and you just find it interesting and you're like, you know what, that seems like something cool. I don't think it takes more than that. I think it's like something that I find that you'll do, but it's just like say the thing, like if whatever you like to do, say you like to exercise. You like to exercise probably because it's good for you, but maybe you have a lot of good thoughts during it, and like it just kind of brings out the best of you. I've had naturally people share a before and after, and they say, hey, I enjoyed, look at the product actually works or whatever. But I really find that people that are built like this way, and if you don't want to do this, if you look at it and you're like, God, I would never want to deal with it. It just gives me stress and anxiety. Don't ever buy this stuff. Don't ever do it. You know what I mean? Like I know a bunch of people love going golfing. I hate going golfing. Like, I don't ever want to go. It's like, I'll pass. Thank you. You know what I mean? So same thing with card care. But if you guys watch this and you see some of these before and afters, don't write a story that you're going to screw up and you suck. Write a story that you're like, hey, this is kick ass and I'm going to get good at it and I'm going to learn because this dude like built all this stuff for me and like made 1 million videos to teach me. You know, that's what I'd say. And
I'll add one for you. And you put this on there. It seems simple, but use those worthless raw cards that that are, you know, 2 cents, 1 cent, and nothing could improve the value. Test and practice on those.
Isn't that the greatest? Isn't that the greatest? Because like when I see my old man bending out like a fender of a 1970 AAR CUDA, he didn't have a test one to go out there and fabricate on. It was like, you nail this shit or it's not going to look good. You know? Right. So it's like when someone's like, oh, I'm not going to be good at working at my Pokemons. I want to be like, practice, dude.
Get in the game, man. Oh, you got unlimited base cards over there to practice with.
I know. I want to be like this tough guy. You know, like, come on, don't give me that whining. You know?
And maybe the most important question, Kurt, is do we have any kind of wholesale distributorship so that I can carry this in the store?
Dude, absolutely. Absolutely. You know that that's really, Ryan, like a really special thing that we've had to help grow our company. You know, that's how you kind of check in to make sure you see your returning customers, you see your company grow, but then also like retailers pop up around the world and around the country. And it's, you know, from a guy that's works hard for everything, I couldn't thank anybody more than that. You know, just you guys are my people, and I love you to death, man. So thank you so much.
Well, we're going to have a spot here at Collector Station, and I'm going to get Bella to get details on that because I want to have it in the store because
you know
it's one of those things that you can't unsee or unuse, and you want to. Hey, if you're got a half a good bone in your body, you want to share it with somebody.
That's awesome, man. I can't thank you enough for that, Ryan.
Hey, man, where can everybody, you know, buy direct, learn more, keep up, watch video? You mentioned the YouTube, but give all the handles.
Yeah, man. So, like, you guys, I'm pretty much at the seat Monday through Monday. I work 8 days a week. But Instagram is a place where I get a lot of direct messages, and I answer them, you know, because I will.
Yeah, you answered this one.
Yeah, I did. That's how you guys met me. So then same with Facebook. And then I'm on YouTube. And then people go through my emails. But the Curts Card Care is the website. Pretty much you search the word Curts Card Care, you'll find me. All right. So but yeah, if you guys want to watch the weekly live show, I do that Wednesday nights, 10 p.m. EST on Instagram. And I'll always grab a vintage card, Pokemon card, and a new card to show love to all my customers and all the stuff that they love to work on and collect. And I also take requests. I write them down all week of what people are asking for, what they want to learn. So like, I like to be interactive and just like run a kick-ass fun company that like my customers kind of drive it, you know, like I just kind of facilitate it and just let them have fun with it, you know, and that's important to me. And that's how we do it.
Well, you got a fan here with me and everything at Collector Nation. So I really appreciate you for coming on, Kurt, and I love your products.
Thank you, Ryan. I am sincerely grateful for that, dude. And I look forward to connecting more. Have me back again because I want to get an update on all the projects you guys are working on. And I can't wait to come down south and see that wonderful store you're putting together.
Exactly. We'd love to have you. It's Kurts. That's Kurts with a K, Kurts Card Care. We'll have all the links in the show notes, and of course on the website, thecollectornation.com. We're bringing you the best, the brightest, the coolest, the innovative of collectibles and trading cards here on the network. We appreciate Kurt. We appreciate you. We'll see you next time on The Collector Nation.
Thanks for tuning into the show. Be sure to follow us on your go-to podcast platform and catch the full video episode over on YouTube. Visit us at collectornation.com and follow Ryan on Instagram at Ryan Alford. Now get out there and collect yours.